Oh, hello. It always goes live a few moments before I think it's going to. And of course I hit live and then realised I didn't have my laptop, which is no good when I have to share the things and do the things, right? So, for those of you who haven't seen my face in a long time or maybe seeing it for the first time, my name is Leah. I'm the founder of this business and this here page called Searching for Serenity. And what I do is provide mentoring and training to stressed out, overwhelmed and exhausted professionals and the companies that they work for. I've been doing this for, it feels like several lifetimes, but it's 4 years now. And the reason that I do this, for those of you that don't know me, is I used to be a lawyer. Lawyers actually have feelings, believe it or not. And I was quite the stressed out, overwhelmed, exhausted lawyer. In fact, I'm a former burnout queen and I went through my own burnout experiences 5 years ago, just over now. And on the back of it, I came out of it stronger. I did a lot of research, implementation, a lot of basically experimenting on myself like a mad scientist, and took what I knew and shared it with people. So that's what I do and why I'm here. The title kind of sums it up, right? I had to go and put lipstick on to go live tonight because if you are anything like me, I'm a problem fixer. I was a professional problem fixer. That's what lawyers are, right? But that's also what teachers are. You need to take people and help them grow and develop and understand critical thinking skills and maths, apparently. Still never very good at that one. Medical professionals, ultimate problem fixers. They're presented with a puzzle in pieces and they have to put it back together again. Most of the people that I work with can be described as problem fixers in some way, shape or form. And when you're a problem fixer, particularly when you work with people, again, most of us around here work with people, you have to learn to read them, to understand them. You have to get inside people's heads. In order for me to have been an effective lawyer, I had to not only listen to what my clients were telling me, which that right there is a critical skill that a lot more people could do with right now. I not only had to listen to what people were telling me and then try and synthesize a solution. So people would come to me, throw their balls of yarn on the floor and I would have to knit a solution out of it. But I not only had to do that, I had to see beyond what they told me. You see, there are a lot of people, and I say this, please don't judge me, but I used to work in contentious probate. So whether there's somebody that's died and there's a will or there's not a will and people are fighting over what's left, right? That's a very crude way of putting what I used to do. And there was a lot more emotion that came with it because when people came to see me, they had 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 years of family background and baggage that they would bring with them. Now that the first thing right there, that requires a lot of empathy and a lot of boundaries, which is something that I really wish I had known more about when I first started out as a lawyer 15 years ago now. But I didn't. I had to make it up as I went along, and I thought I just had to get tougher and I had to get a thicker skin. That's a conversation for another live stream though, definitely. But people would come to me and they would say to me, this is what I want. And they would say to me, for example, it's not about the money, it's about the principle of the thing. That was really a red flag for me because that meant there was something and the principles never really got resolved. If you go into litigation because you want someone to say they're sorry, you're never going to be satisfied. But people would quite often come to me and they would say it was about this thing, and it was only through the process of gaining somebody else's trust and confidence, of helping them to see that I did understand, that I was not judging them, that I was open to what was going on, that I understood often too much. A lot of my clients would come with a lot of baggage, a lot of family history of the very negative type, and I understood that far too well. However, it was only when I got to that point that the real needs underneath would come out. And that whole process is a real process of empathy. So if you are a problem fixer and you work with people, you have to understand people. And not just people in a general sense, but individuals. You have to be able to ascertain when somebody is telling you what they think is the truth because they haven't quite realised the deeper point of it yet. Where they're operating out of fear or worry or doubt. And, well, right now is kind of a problem time for problem fixers, right? I mean, just without getting into it too deeply, because one of the things that I've promised myself this week is I'm going to stop talking about what's on the news, because we're all hearing about it, we're all getting the updates, we've all got the BBC News app, you know, pinging us notifications every 10 minutes. You don't need me telling you about it. You don't need me reinforcing it. What you need is me helping you to understand why you feel the way that you do, how to manage it better, how to step out of the fear and the doubt and the worry and all the rest of it that comes with it. So I'm not going to talk about all of that. But what I am going to say is right now, it's a difficult time for the people pleasers. And I've talked about problem fixing. I've talked about empathy. I've talked about understanding people. All of that converges into one neat little group, the people pleasers. You see, here's my theory. We get into these jobs that we do, whether you're a lawyer or a teacher or a medical professional or an accountant, whether you are in the job of your dreams right now or whether you're working your way there, whether you are in something that you never thought you would do but you keep enjoying the challenge, we get into these jobs because we want to take something, we want to make it better. We want other people to benefit from the work that we do. I don't know many people who don't experience that, who don't want to make things better. Even if you are pure and simple making money for people, you're trying to make things better because you're trying to give them something they don't have or give them more of something they don't have. There's a dog barking outside. You know me, I'm always distracted by the dogs. Hey, Heather. So all of those things converge into one title, and that is people pleaser. We want to make people happier, healthier. We want them to understand more. We want them to be able to do more. We want them to have their problems resolved. So the problem fixers, the empaths, the people who understand people deeper than they understand themselves sometimes, we're all people pleasers. And one of the most devastating things about the work that we do and the world that we're living in right now is when we can't make it better for other people. I said earlier that it's not my job to come and tell you about the current fear climate that's going on. It's to help you be better. There is nothing worse than me sitting there and thinking, I'm not helping, I'm not making a difference. I don't need to change the world, I need to change one person at a time. And it is a difficult time for the people pleasers. Earlier today I was at the supermarket. This is just a classic example, because if you are somebody who works with people, if you are a problem fixer, if you understand individuals, if you are able to get beyond the surface level of any one person and you desperately want to make that difference, then here's what's happening all the time. You got this little radar. I need to sink down a little bit for this. You got a little radar on top of your head and it's going, boom. It's like a little scanner, right? If anybody tunes in whilst I'm doing this, there we go. Somebody's just joined whilst I'm sitting there waggling my finger on top of my head, and this is quite clearly going to be the screenshot, but this is what's happening. This is what people pleasers and empathetic people do. We've got this constant scanner going. So you're that person who walks into the supermarket, and when that kid is running too fast, you can almost feel that tingle up your spine of, oh God, they're going to fall. And when they go splat, you're the one that nearly cries with them. Or you're the one that winces. You're the one that laughs when the kid does something silly, even though the parents then glare at you. I get into trouble with that a lot, particularly with dogs, actually. When dogs start barking at my giant wolf of a dog and he doesn't care, I burst out laughing. But that's who we are. We've got this radar up all of the time. We are constantly scanning for fear, worry, doubt, exhaustion, overwhelm. We're constantly scanning for a type of danger. Might not be running away from a lion, but it's a type of danger. And as a people pleaser, right now, it's a little bit like somebody's rubbing me down with sandpaper. I don't know about you. I was in the supermarket earlier today and I'm stood in a queue, and I had been in the supermarket watching people literally hooking their arm around the backs of stuff and just clearing it into their baskets. And people who were taking 10 or 12 packs of long life milk. Who's going to drink that much milk in a couple of days? Because the supermarket gets 2 or 3 deliveries a day. But anyway, I digress. I'm stood, feeling quite proud of myself. I'm feeling quite kind of ethical about the whole thing. I haven't, cleared the shelves. I bought no more than 2 things of anything that I was getting. And then I'm stood in the checkout line. My stuff is on the conveyor belt. And the guy stood behind me in the queue. He's just sounding off. That's all he was doing. And I think he thought he was saying it quite quietly to his wife, and he was saying it loud enough that the people around us could hear. But he was kind of having a running commentary on everybody around him. And usually I'm totally in for that, because people see things differently, and I find that really interesting to see what other people see. But he was judgmental, and his tone was aggressive. When you just hear that tone, and the words themselves aren't aggressive, but the tone just sets your teeth on edge. And he stood behind me doing all of this, and his wife's shushing him every so often, but he's still going, and he's mocking people. And in times of heightened emotion, for me and for the people in this community, the people pleasers, that is an unsolvable, unwinnable problem. Because the people pleaser, the little scanner on top of our heads, is going, oh, this guy is angry. So 1, I want to protect myself, but 2, I kind of want to make it better. I want to make eye contact and smile, or I want to at least not feel like his poison is dripping into my ears all the time. But I physically couldn't go anywhere unless I left the supermarket, and I damn well wanted that ham, because I really wanted ham. Okay? Don't judge me. So what do? This is a difficult time for the people pleasers. And here's what I want to share with you. The first thing is to acknowledge that you're a people pleaser and not make that a bad thing. People pleasers are always given a bad rap. We are supposed to be spineless or weak, or we don't have any boundaries. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes we don't have our boundaries, and sometimes we don't apply our own oxygen masks first. But being a people pleaser is essentially this. You see people, you read their emotions well, and you want to make the world a better place. That's no bad thing. We need more of that right now. So please own being a people pleaser. And the second thing is this. Once you are aware that you have got this scanner, what I call the inner meerkat scanner, because it's like a meerkat, so he's standing up looking. Once you own that, once you're aware of that, you can start to change it. Because what most of us don't realise is we're walking around taking on board everything around us. And the moment you realise, oh, well, hang on a minute, this is because it's part of who I am, and one of my fundamental reasons for being, my raison d'etre, is to make the world a better place. And sometimes I can't do that, and that's okay. I'm doing the best I can. And not everybody deserves my help or support is the third thing. So, owning that this is who you are and that it's not a bad thing. Secondly, becoming aware when you are scanning other people, when you're reading them, when you're immediately trying to pivot yourself to make a good impression or to try and change things up. And thirdly, pay attention to who does and does not deserve your support. Looking on the bookshelf behind me, always have a look at the bookshelf behind me because it's a view into my inner self. Brené Brown, Daring Greatly, and a number of her other books. She talks about how not everybody deserves your confidence and your vulnerability. Being a people pleaser means inherently being a vulnerable person a lot of the time because you are open to other people's anger, fear, upset, hurt, all of their emotions. Being aware that you're paying attention to it and then being aware of when you can shut it down changes everything. I will literally laugh at myself in the supermarket checkout, and this is what I was doing today with this guy behind me. I just kept kind of smiling to myself, and he probably thought I was psychotic, and I'm okay with that because it meant he kept his distance. But I kept smiling to myself because I kept imagining this little radar, hey gorgeous, this little radar on top of my head, scanning him and being like, oh, anger, worry. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Perfect phrase for this one, and this is one that I'm putting on a freaking bracelet over on Rogue Jewels. Literally, I'm doing that tonight. Not my circus, not my monkeys means this is not my problem and I should walk away. That's okay. It also helps that we all then imagine monkeys dancing all over the place, and who doesn't love that? So that's the first thing I wanted to share. I'm going to be going live a lot more regularly on this page. I've been neglecting my Facebook page, I've been neglecting the lives on IGTV and over on LinkedIn. So I'm going to be sharing more of these, and they will be in all the places. Every day I'm going to be sharing just little tips and techniques and things to try and help you. And if nothing else, I'm going to turn up wearing lipstick and mascara and talking about things that make the world hopefully a better place. No, they do make the world a better place. I'm not gonna negate that one. We do. By being more positive. I'm not saying, love and light our way out of a hole. We can't do that. But by being more positive and by sharing the tools and techniques that work, we can make things better for other people around us and for ourselves. So I'm going to be sharing these more regularly. So make sure that you have liked the page, make sure that you've got the notifications on, and you've got me on See First on Facebook. If you want to know how that works, let me know, I'll do some screenshots for you. And make sure that you're subscribed to my emails. So go to searchingforserenity.co.uk, and when the pop-up comes up, make sure you're signed up so you can access the replays and you can get all of the details of what I'm doing. If you've liked this video, there is something that I think you should check out. I'm not going to do a big pitch right now. I'm already 7 minutes late for a training that I'm supposed to be doing because I'm always late. But I am going to be creating an entire, right, I'm seeing all the people pop up right now. I'm going to be creating an entire bundle for what we need right now. So for the people pleasers, for the overwhelmed, exhausted, poor boundaries, the people who need to know how to take best care of themselves right now, then this bundle might be for you. And it's the Grit and Resilience bundle. And it's a series of 12 workshops that I'm going to be conducting over the next 13 weeks, together with a whole load of extras if you join up for all of the workshops. You will be able to get them all individually as well for £25 a pop, but £33 a month, you can come and get all of them. Why wouldn't you want that? Go and check it out. If you like the look of it, sign up. I'm still updating the page at the moment, so don't judge me. It's not the prettiest page in the world, but the text is in there. So go have a look. Share it with anybody that you think might need this help. I am going to be doing as much as I can throughout this period to try and offer help, support, guidance, because that's what I do. And if there is something I know well, it's how to deal with stress in a crisis, right? So go and check that out. I'm going to go do my live training. I hope you're all having an amazing evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.